With my team a few minutes ago, I said when I first got into school, how many of us know Edo College in Benin? Yeah, I'm a Edo College student, Ekoba. That's what I am. Wow. Is that nice? Yeah. All right. My very first year in school, my very first term in school, I failed all my subjects. My second term, I did pretty well. You know? Then the third term, when I was supposed to be promoted to GS2, you know the word I call let my people go, you understand? You know what that means? You know, you do well, some subjects, some are bad, but at the end of the day, I passed anyway into GS2. But what I mean by that is not about your failure, it's about what you've decided in life to become. The truth is, the future of this nation is within those of us that are seated here. Is within those of us that are seated here. Are you listening? When I started, I failed. When people thought I was a nobody, when people thought I was good for nothing, and today I think I'm standing before you as an orator, as a speaker, and a life coach. Are you listening? So there is no failure when you are ready to walk within that person inside you. When people try to talk you down and say, oh no, there's nothing good about you, you can't do nothing. Oh, as a matter of fact, you can't achieve nothing because you are dull, you aren't great. Don't talk yourself down. Did you hear that? Always listen to yourself. I, Dave Stanley, I can do so much. You always say to yourself, I can do so much. So I want you to measure your name now. Measure your name, say, I can do so much. Say, I am better than this. I don't care what people think. What matters is what I know. Because I'm going to be great. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be a great leader. And being a great leader means building a great nation. So I shall become one of the voices in this nation. Just clap for yourself. All right. I have a few words that I want to talk about. The symbolism or the symbolic star. You know, when my team came and talked about Stars International School, or high school, is it high school? International schools. I asked myself, how can people attend a school in quotes that's a star and not be stars, and not become stars in life? It's not possible. Are you listening? So it's a privilege for you to be in this school, because the truth is, every name symbolizes something. Do you hear me? Yes. Every name in life symbolizes something. Being a part of this school, a student in this school, God has a purpose for it. He wants that star in you to come up. And I said, don't lead people by using the star. Example is the wise man who through the star got to know where Jesus was born. All right? In other words, you say the wise man followed the star to where Jesus was born. So if you must do well in life, you must understand the star in you. You must understand that you were created for a purpose. You must understand that you were created for a reason. And you must understand that in everything you do, you must be conscious of your personality. Are you listening? A lot of things is happening in Nigeria today, not because people want Nigeria to fail, but because a lot were not done, and a lot of persons don't understand what God really created them for, and as a result of that, they mess things up. And I'm sure some of you are not happy with what we experience in Nigeria. A lot of persons want to travel abroad. A lot of persons want to go overseas and do well, succeed, school, work overseas. But the question is, these same countries we want to run into, people fixed it up, right? Yes. People are responsible for their leadership, right? Yes. If that is true, we can also do the same thing in Nigeria. If our leaders failed us, we cannot afford to fail the next generation. Is that clear? So that is why I'm here this morning or this afternoon, to make you understand that there's so much in you. If we must do well as a nation, you are the next generation that will take this country to our next level. Are you listening? Yes. And in doing that, there are a few things I'm going to outline. If you have a pen, you write. If not, if you can, the very stars to become the most successful. To become successful, to become a great leader, you must understand what focus is about. How many of us understand the word focus? You understand the word focus? You should understand that for anyone to do well, for anyone to become a true leader, for anyone to believe so much in himself or herself, you must understand the place of being very focused. It's like you're in a school. If you must be one of the best students, you must focus on your studies. Yes or no? Yes. You must focus on your studies. If you want to pass exams, you must focus on your studies. Alright? It's not everyone that is privileged to be in the position you are today. It's not everyone that is privileged to even be a student in a private school. But your parents gave you this privilege to be part of this school. You mustn't fail. It will be so funny seeing that they pay so much and at the end of the day they are not getting the results they want. So what you must do, you must be focused. You must learn to know that if I don't carve out my path now, the future might become a very funny future. I have seen people that were once young like you. Some of them today are conductors. Some of them today sell tomatoes in the market. Some of them today hawk on the streets. Are you listening? I'm sure none of us here want to be that. Do you understand? None of us want to be that. And if you don't want to be, it's what you do now. How serious you are now with your studies. How serious you are now with those things in the inside of you that will determine your next level. Think of what you want your 10 years to look like. When I was about to begin, I told you guys that my very first is this semester? No, not semester. 30 years ahead of me, and that caused me to focus. Are you listening? So what is important for you is how focused are you in what you want to become in life. There are some of you want to become a doctor. There are some of you want to become an engineer. Some of you want to become a businessman, or even a coach, or a leader. But then, to make that happen, you must learn to be what? Then number 2, have vision. Have vision. So when we talk about vision, I said here, what your primary look or belief should be about vision. So what is vision? Vision is that picture you are able to paint before you of what you want to become, how you want to actualize them. You paint a picture. While I failed in school, I told myself, one day I want to become one of the best speakers in this nation. I told myself that one day I want to become the most successful businessman in this nation. Not actually about where you're coming from, it's actually about what you parents. I was not privileged to have one. I mean, when I was still very young, when I was 17. Alright? So, but that didn't stop me, because I already had a vision. So you must have a vision of what you want to become in the nearest future. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay? Yes. If you want to become a leader, vision cannot be overemphasized. If you want to do well, if you don't want to end up on the streets like those other persons that you see today, you must bet a vision in your mind. You must say to yourself, Joseph, Esther, this is what I want to become 10, 20 years down the lane. Is that okay? And when you do that, you'll be able to tailor yourself you'll be able to coordinate yourself. You see yourself different from every other student around you, even your neighbor. Then begin to read. But you must read to execute. The difference between a successful man or a successful student or a successful leader and a failed one is the ability for some to read and they're able to execute what they've learned, or to set up a business and they're able to execute and follow it up. You want to be president. How many of you want to be president? Okay, how many of you want to be a doctor? Listen, let me tell you the power of mind. Let me tell you the power of mind. You say what you want to become. Like when I began, I told you, nobody stops you. It's what you say, that is what you become. I failed, but I said to myself, this is what I want to become. Did you hear me? This is what I want to become. So it's what you want to become, you say to yourself. I always tell myself, I want to be the most successful businessman this nation has ever produced. I've been telling that to myself for many years. I want to be one of the best speakers this nation will ever produce. And I see myself working that part. So when you want to become a good doctor, you want to become an engineer, a businessman, or you a leader, or you a president, or a senator, you start confessing it now. And you have a star. And the star in you, you are the one that will actualize that star to become open to the world. So when you watch Nollywood movie, you know, when you see one of the actors or actors, you know them by name. You know them on the streets. To be disciplined. You must learn to be disciplined. Alright. I can't imagine myself, if I'm not disciplined, they're coming to tell me to be disciplined. I've been deceiving you, I've been deceiving myself. First, I don't play with time. If I tell you I'm going to be somewhere by 10, know that I'm going to be there by 10. And my team know, if I'm not there by 15 past 10, even at worst, know that I'm not coming. Do you understand? Because I've taught myself to be disciplined. If you do yourself actually a great favor. But you must learn to be disciplined to know where you're supposed to be in school. That is how it begins. That is how you start. That is how you begin to learn. Discipline. In your home, you must be disciplined. The way you talk to people, the way you look at people, what you think about people, your mind must be renewed. You understand? Do you understand? Show me a man or a lady that has failed in life. I will tell you people that don't have integrity. What is integrity? Be able to stand, the right standing. Stand firm, give explaining of what happened. What you believe in is what you believe in. But when you believe in, you can stand with it when you know is right. Is that okay? And imagine if we have nations of leaders, or the nation that we are in, we have leaders of high repute, high integrity. I'm sure some of the things we're suffering today won't suffer them. Won't suffer them. I've been to nations of the world. I've been to places like Canada, I've been to places like Ireland. And I've seen that their leaders or their president or their government provide bursary or provide meal allowances for the students, for the children. Alright? But these people are normal, they are human beings. So what I want is, after 20, 30 years from now, we should be able to raise leaders here. Leaders that will be able to stand for this nation. Leaders that will be able to say, I want this nation to be a better nation. It's possible. It's possible. And if you know it's possible, tell me it's possible. Very possible. Lastly, work hard. Work and work smart. Listen, what is hard work? Hard work is good. For you to do well, you need to work hard. As a student, you need to read. Are you listening? You need to read 24/7 so that you have good grades. But then, it's not just about reading, you need to read smart. We're already in the world of technology. Alright? Gone are almost those days when we used to go to the shelf. We'll bring out a lot of books, as they go to school, whatever you call it. But now, you can have your phone, you go whatever topic you want to see, or no. The pops up and you read. Are you listening? So you learn to work smart while working hard. And when you do that, you become a better person. That's when you begin to fulfill your purpose. That's when you begin to bring out those stars and those personality in you. Is that clear? Yes. Is that clear, student? Yes. Is that clear, student? Yes. Who wants to be great? Yeah, now I like this. There is no one that can keep you down when you want to be great. It's you that can say to yourself, I want to be great. It's you that can say to yourself, I want to be the best in what I do. You are the one that can say to yourself, nobody's going to tell you. You hear me?